I had to hear this recording, so you have to hear it too. I can't keep it to myself. This is absolutely hilarious. Like no cap.
right? Like, unless you're ladies that you don't want to fucking deal with men at all, then we should talk
If
about
you don't want to
that.
deal
But
with
if
black men at all,
So with all men and
say.
not black men, just
Okay.
not black men.
well, is there any women here who don't want to deal with men, period, or is it just black men, or is it a mixture?
It's just black men, and we actually want non-black men's help in these corrections that you speak of.
So what are the corrections that you're looking for specific?
Force, because that's the only thing that's gonna work.
But I mean, what are you looking for black men to arrive at? A place of understanding of like what do you want to see?
Well, me
We believe that there is no hope for them. That we don't believe in changing their minds. We don't. But I'm trying not to say what I really want to say because you're on stage. But this
Yeah, so she's not gonna say what she actually wants to say, right? But basically, what she's trying to say is, yo, just get rid of all black men, right? There's no hope. We don't think there's nothing that can help them. This is crazy talk. And, this is exactly where the advent of feminism has gotten us, right? This is what feminism has gotten us. Listen, I'm gonna say it, right? Yes, the first goal of feminism was to try to get women, equal rights with it, which they do have now, right? I would argue they have more privileges nowadays, but you get what I mean. But that is not what it's about. That wasn't the end goal, right? What the end goal is what's happening today, what you saw in that video right there, right? It's not about equality, it's about power. That's what it's about. It's not about fairness anymore and equality of opportunities. No, it's about we're better than men, right? As this woman said, we just need to get rid of all the black guys, right? just nuke them, right? I don't really want to say what I want to say, but because you're on stage right now, it's about dominance. That's really what it is. Like that's really what it's about. I mean, just imagine the outrage, right? If all black men were like, yeah, just get rid of black women. Like, yeah, just get rid of them. We don't need them. Like, you know, crazy. They're loud, obnoxious. We don't need them. Like, just get rid of them. This whole new wave of feminism, bro, just breeds misandry. And I made this claim a long time ago, and a lot of people got on me for saying this, but I genuinely think that there are way more misandrists out there, especially in the United States, than there are misogynists. And there's a reason why people know the term misogynist and they don't know the term misandrist, because it's openly acceptable to talk down on a man and say things about men similar to this. I don't know, but for some reason, this doesn't really surprise me.
Let me guess. They're white. Oh, what do you know? I was right. Without fail, liberals continue to show us their true colors just as soon as minorities don't go along with their plans.
Now, y'all already know how I rock, right? I really don't care who says the N word. If a white person says nigger or nigga, I really don't give a shit. It's a word. It should never ever have power over an individual. In my opinion, that ICE agent kind of reacted, emotionally in a way, but he kept his cool. He walked away. But at the end of the day, right? This really shouldn't, hamper you from being who you want to be as a black person, right? A word shouldn't have power over you. But once again, like I've always said, right, this moral superiority complex that liberals mostly have always comes back to bite them in the ass. Here we have a white liberal who clearly does not agree with the, ICE agent, or she doesn't agree with ICE in general, right? And the ICE agent just so happens to be black, right? So what does she do? Because his ideologies doesn't align, or his ideologies don't align with hers, or it doesn't fit the quota or the agenda that people try to push, you have to insult him with racial slurs. And unfortunately, what these liberals don't understand is that the moment that you do that and you start hurling racial slurs at somebody because they don't agree with what you're doing, and they're also a minority, it literally erases your moral claim. it undermines what you're so-called fighting for, right? It undermines what your mission is. And, like I've always said, this is the party who advertises itself as the tolerant party, right? This is the party or the ideologies of the people or the liberals, right? The political, the left, right? These are the people who advertise themselves. We're tolerant, we're inclusive, everybody else matters. But here we can see that this person is attacking this person, right, based off of race. And what does that do? It just shows you that liberals aren't really for the diversity that they claim to be for. It actually shows their intolerance to diversity. And furthermore, it shows their extreme intolerance for viewpoint diversity, which means that, if somebody else has the other view or opposite view to what they have, you're not valid anymore. It is as clear as they depicted in this video that a liberal's principles are not consistent. They are conditional.
And my manhood does not come in the form of my genitalia, for that can be lost too. My pronouns are they, them, or at least that's what I share with people most often, but for this particular meeting, I will come out fully as saying that my pronouns are she, they, him. Now, I don't usually go into that because it becomes a quite interesting, delicate conversation about what it means to be a man, what it means to be a woman.
I don't know about you guys, but, if something is very, very hard to define, it's very, very hard to defend that ideology. If you cannot clearly define what a man is or what a woman is, if you can just feel like a man one day and feel like a woman one day, or identify as a cat one day and identify as a cow one day, then there's no real definition. And words are there's a reason why we have a dictionary, is because all words have meanings. Without meanings and semantics, right, the English language does not exist. Terms don't have meanings, and you literally cannot speak a language and people cannot understand you when you speak if words don't have meaning. So when you make it complicated identifying as they, them, him, she, I'm pretty sure she even mixed up her terms in this video. It's very, very hard for you to defend that ideology. When basic terms like man and woman are being complicated and being, just used interchangeably, like, are your views really coherent? It raises questions as to whether the framework is your framework is correct. Like, I'm just saying. And then you have the question of biology that comes into it. I in some way, I guess I would agree that, you having a PP instead of a wee, right? It doesn't necessarily determine your manhood, but it definitely determines that you are a man. That is one thing that it 100% determines. And, I understand, like, these liberals and, these people who are so progressive, they are of higher education and they go to college at higher rates. And, if you actually look at it, right, most people who graduate college do become progressive. They are progressive. But complexity doesn't necessarily mean that, you have clarity and what you're saying actually makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I think this is what a lot of these liberals do. They think that because what they're explaining is so complex, it's supposed to make sense. And he's like, oh, I'm so smart, but it doesn't.